What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It's the 10th of February today, and here we are at about $516 with roughly 8 hours, 53 minutes left in the day. We are probably going to move down. It's still possible that we are in this bounce phase from this low and that we still have more price action to climb through. But I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I mean, we saw a price today that was higher than yesterday's price, that was higher than the day before that's price barely, and the day before that. It's like we got a fake out, now we've rejected down. We're definitely in a semi-neutral yet volatile area here. Anything could happen. I'm going with the downside. Let's look at the short-term stuff and see if that's the case. 1 hour time frame here. Again, we can see it, man. It's just, it seems clear as day. This was a fake out. All and entirely a fake out, right? I mean, you wicked all the way up there, volume picking up as you're breaking down. It seems legit, right? Where here you were breaking down, it was easy to call for the price to move up here because there's no volume, right? Volume came in a little bit to the upside, but it wasn't really enough to break out or nothing. We're getting the most volume we've seen really throughout this range, or at least since this time back here, and it's on this breakdown after this fake out to the upside. I think we're on the right path of logic, of thinking whenever I say we're probably going to come down from this area. This might be a BART. It could be just a BART, and then we come down, right? That's very possible. And when I say down, I don't mean lower low. First and foremost, yes, it is possible that we could see a lower low. Second to that, no, I don't think we're going to see a lower low. I think that was the low. I think at worst from here, the worst thing that we'd see is probably a low right here at directly like $467, like right there. If not exactly there, then give or take $1. You know what I mean? But something in that area. I don't even believe that we're going to go this low. I would assume that we do go, you know, somewhere around these lows here. But again, just below $500. That's what we're looking for. If we look at this on a low to a high, relatively speaking, the 382 right there is at 493. It's somewhere in between this low and that low there. That sounds perfect to me, man. I mean, Bitcoin Cash really does like to find support around its 0.5 and sometimes just below there. So keep that in mind. We could go below 480, but I have a hard time imagining that we get anywhere like too far below this low. Again, like a hair below it, that's the golden ratio there. Okay, cool. But other than that, no. And not to make things more confusing, but if we do go below this low, that doesn't mean we're going below this low. It could, but it doesn't mean that. At any rate, I think that we will move lower from here, but let's see. I mean, with that being said, though, we have a lot of volume here. We're picking up volume as we're moving down. We're not really going anywhere. It's kind of a good sign. It's actually kind of a good sign. Let's look at the indicators. Stop beating around the bush here. That bush has been beaten. Good old bush beating. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. Low to high here. Let's see. Lower lows, lower highs. There we go. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's not a bad... We broke out of this downward sloping trend. We're kind of like finding support at it. I'm not drawing the straightest line there. Let's see. Yeah, it's like that. So maybe, maybe not. I would still say we're trending somewhat to the downside. I don't know. I'm not impressed by this. I would have been more impressed by this if we held a higher low. But the fact that we have a lower low, I think we're in a bearish kind of territory. Neutral but bearish. It's really hard to say. We really could find support right here, but I'm not calling for that. You do have bullish divergence on your stochastics, technically. As long as this hour closes green, you do have bullish divergence on your MACD as well. But it's on the 1 hour time frame. You've been moving sideways. I'm not gonna hold my breath over these. 4 hour time frame here, looking at this, it certainly does seem as though we want to come lower. I would think that if we broke above the 50 and we wanted to find support here, we would have done so. We wouldn't have come back down and gotten lower lows. You know, we went from finding support at the 50 both of these times potentially to now it looks like we're actually going to plunge below the 50, come back down, maybe bounce off that oversold area. Wouldn't that be perfect? Just boom, direct higher lows like that. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's perfect. Who cares about the price? Just buy whenever the RSI, the 4 hour RSI is right there, bouncing off the oversold zone. Perfect. You probably don't get bullish divergence, right? You had bullish divergence here between these lows, but I would think just from where you are here, getting down to this point, it's not going to take you below this low here. It'd probably take you around that low. So something around let's say 485 to 470, 465 even, 485 to 465. That's the call for now. MACD is somewhat bullish here, but again, choppy and sideways. I'm not going to hold my breath over that. Stochastics are weird. The RSI is really the only thing to go off of, and I think it's clear that we're going to go lower. Daily time frame, looking at the RSI, again, still in a downtrend, right? Still lower lows, lower highs. You've got this lower high dynamic here. You're kind of breaking out of it. Lower low dynamic there. It's totally acceptable to come back into this range or to go a little bit lower. Again, the word I'm using here is a little bit lower, nothing crazy. The price action's been weird, so the stochastics are kind of weird, the MACD's kind of weird. Overall bearish, but we're in an overall bearish environment right now. Hi, Mufasa, come here. Come here. That's my buddy. If you guys heard that noise, that was just a cat. I think he might be autistic cat, but he's a really sweet, he's a great cat, man. If he's not autistic, there's something wrong with him. You can just see it in his eyes. Like in a way that, like, if I was smaller than him, I would be worried he would kill me. Like that might just be all cats, but there's something wrong with this guy. But in the best way. Oh, he's great. He's great. When it comes to humans, he likes humans, that's for sure. $516. Man, on a whole side note, I don't even want to get into it, actually. I don't even want to get into it. Just, I love this cat. Anyways, $516 now. 3-day time frame. RSI bouncing right off the oversold zone. That's nice. Again, the last time that we did this, we were at a low point here, right? Overall move down, you're at your low point the last time we saw these readings. So again, I think here, we're in this overall consolidation phase. We're obviously at a low point with this move, I think. Weekly time frame. RSI is neutral at an area that we found support at before, and we found support throughout this whole cycle. Stochastics are suggesting that we probably don't move up right now, but anything can happen. I mean, we found support here before, found support above these levels, and actually basically right at these same levels here. We found support in these areas before, found support, it could happen. The MACD, the RSI, the stochastics, they're all in a somewhat neutral posturing now. On the weekly time frame, that makes sense because we've been somewhat neutral for a while. But overall, it's definitely bullish. There's definitely some bullish implications here. And that makes sense because you look at this, I mean, this whole damn thing, it just seems like we're on the precipice of potentially one of the greatest moves that any crypto will see in 2026. Genuinely. I don't believe that we go below this low. I think that we're going to hold this trend line. I think that we'll move up from here, but I think that overall we'll move up from here. But right now, $514, the call is to move down to 485, 465, somewhere in that range. It could literally be 485 on the dot. It could literally be 465 on the dot, but I think it will be somewhere in between those prices. And then sometime next week, we can start to recover and move higher. That's the thought. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Of course, if we get that done with sooner than later, I would love it if today we just plummeted and then tomorrow we were back up here. Maybe by the end of this week we can be breaking out. The idea, the thought that we had back here going into the weekend that we'd be moving up above $600 by the end of this week, it has been tarnished. It's been thrown out the window because of what we've done over the past couple of days. I hope that's clear and understood. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I stand by what I said yesterday. If we can get above 540, then I'm wrong. Until then, I'm right. Take care. Bye-bye.